Hello, and welcome to the Firearms Safety Basics course. We're glad you decided to start your journey here, and we look forward to getting you started in the right direction. In this course, we'll be covering some basic terminology used in the firearms world, as well as some firearms basics and some ammunition basics. So get yourself a cup of coffee or beverage of your choice, relax, and enjoy. Just some information to keep in mind before we start. This by no means is a complete firearms training course. This is just the beginning. There is so much to learn about firearms that you could probably say there are not enough years in 2 lifetimes to learn it all. As you progress through this course, you might want to think about a firearms instructor that you would like to train with. Firearms instructors on most occasions make the path a lot easier for you in the long run. Also, you're going to want to remember that every skill you work on in the firearms world is a perishable skill, meaning if you don't practice consistently, you will lose what you've learned. So let's dive in. What are firearms? The term firearm means 1. A weapon designed or readily convertible to fire a projectile by explosion. 2. The frame or receiver of any such weapon. Number 3, any firearm, muffler, or firearm silencer. And number 4, any destructive device. Continuing on with defining a firearm is a mechanical device that uses pressure from a burning powder to force a projectile through and out of a metal tube. Handguns are short firearms that are designed to be held in 1 or 2 hands while being fired. Here are 3 basic types of handguns. The term rifle means a weapon designed or redesigned, made or remade, and intended to be fired from the shoulder, and designed or redesigned and made or remade to use the energy of the explosive in a fixed metallic cartridge to fire only a single projectile through a rifled bore for each single pull of the trigger. Rifling. Most firearm barrels have spiraling grooves cut or pressed into the bore. The ridges of metal between the grooves are called lands. Together, the grooves and the lands are called rifling. When the gun is fired, the rifling in the barrel puts a spiral spin on the projectile. This spin keeps the bullet point first in flight, which increases the accuracy and the distance it will travel. So what are the parts? To appreciate fully the importance of firearm safety, you first must understand how they work. This includes knowing the parts of the gun, the types of ammunition, and how ammunition is fired. Before we get too far into the parts, let's talk about some actions, and I want to clarify some terms about that. So the first one is single action. A single action firearm is a type of firearm in which the hammer must be manually cocked back before each shot can be fired. Pulling the trigger only releases the hammer to strike the firing pin and discharge the cartridge. Double action. A double action firearm is a type of firearm in which the trigger performs 2 actions. It both cocks the hammer or striker and then releases it to fire the cartridge. This means the firearm can be fired simply by pulling the trigger without the need to manually cock the hammer first. Some double action firearms can also be fired in single action mode if the hammer is manually cocked. And then there's semi-automatic. A semi-automatic firearm is a type of repeating firearm that fires 1 bullet with each pull of the trigger. It automatically loads the next round into the chamber and it's ready to fire again. This contrasts with fully automatic firearms, which continue to fire as long as the trigger is held down, and manually operated firearms which require the user to load each round by hand. Revolvers. They have a great history and they're tried and true. If you take a look at the picture, you can see all the parts of a revolver, most of them that are actually visible. Many of the parts in a revolver will be the same in other firearms, but there are some particular things about a revolver that are different from all the others. These are the cylinder, the ejector rod, the cylinder release, and on many occasions the hammer. Semi-automatic pistols. Semi-automatic pistols are in a class of their own. They arrived in the firearms world at the beginning of the 20th century. And as you can see by the picture above, they do look very different than revolvers. Some semi-automatic pistols do have a hammer. However, that hammer is very different than a revolver hammer on most occasions. The major differences in a semi-automatic versus other pistols is the magazine and the firing pin. The magazine is what holds the cartridges, and this allows the action of the pistol to expel the spent casing and reload the chamber after each cartridge has been fired. This is achieved because of the action of this particular kind of pistol. Rifles. There are many different kinds of rifles. The type of action on our rifle determines what it will be called. The particular example above is what they would call a carbine or semi-automatic. Many rifles use magazines, just like a semi-automatic pistol. However, there are a few that do not. The main difference between a rifle and a pistol is the barrel length and the stock. The barrel length determines the amount of velocity on a projectile as well as the accuracy at longer ranges. You may be noticing by now that all modern firearms have many of the same features, such as front and rear sights, trigger guards, triggers, and some sort of safety implementation on the firearm. So I wanted to take a couple of moments and talk about the AR-15, or the Armalite rifle. Armalite, Eugene Stoner, designed the rifle in the 1950s and sold its design to Colt in 1959. This design was adopted by the Air Force in 1963 as the M16. When the patent ran out in 1977, other manufacturers designed rifles for the sporting market in America. Since this time, millions have been sold. This rifle is very popular for sport shooting, hunting, and home defense due to modularity, ease of use, and relatively low recoil. It has become a central point in the gun control debate due to its use in some high-profile mass shootings. Understanding its pieces and parts is critically important for you to understand why it has become a central point for these debates. These parts include the adjustable stock, the pistol grip, and the flash hider or flash suppressor. The adjustable stock makes it modular for all heights and sizes of people. The pistol grip makes it easier to control and use. The flash hider or suppressor keeps the flash from entering the shooter's line of sight, blinding them from the target while shooting across the sights. And last but not least, we have shotguns. A shotgun is a smoothbore firearm designed to fire multiple small projectiles, called shot, or a single larger projectile like a slug. These are primarily used for hunting, sport shooting, and self-defense. Shotguns are known for their versatility and wide area of impact at close range. Keep in mind, some modern shotgun barrels do have rifling in them. Ammunition. Modern ammunition varies depending on the type of firearm. Most firearms use a cartridge that typically contains a single projectile, or a bullet. So let's define ammunition. The federal definition of ammunition, as of 2025, is ammunition or cartridge cases, primers, bullets, or propellant powder designed for use in any firearm. This is according to 18 U.S.C. subsection 921A17. So the basic components of ammunition are the case, the primer, the powder, and the projectile. The case is the container that holds all the other ammunition components together. It's usually made of brass, steel, or copper. The primer is an explosive chemical compound that ignites the gunpowder when struck by a firing pin. Primers may be placed either in the rim of the case, rimfire, or in the center of the base of the case, which is centerfire. Gunpowder is a chemical mixture that burns rapidly and converts to an expanding gas when ignited. And the projectile is the object expelled from the barrel. A bullet is a projectile. It usually contains lead and fired through a barrel. So there's centerfire and rimfire ammunition. Centerfire ammunition is used for rifles, shotguns, and handguns. In this type of ammunition, the primer is located in the center of the casing base, as you can see in the picture above. And you can also see how it looks in real life in the second picture above. Most centerfire cartridges are reloadable. Rimfire cartridges. Rimfire ammunition has the primer contained in the rim of the ammunition casing. Rimfire ammunition is limited to lower pressure loads, and the cartridges are not reloadable by any conventional means. Handgun cartridges. Bullets used in handgun cartridges come in various designs, sizes, and weights. The bullet is usually made of lead and may have a jacket made of copper, brass, or some other metal. Bullets used for hunting, law enforcement, or personal defense may have soft or hollow points designed to expand or mushroom upon impact. Bullets used for target shooting usually have a flat or solid points that make a clean hole in paper. Common types of handgun bullets are round-nosed lead, full metal jacket, semi-wad cutter, hollow point, and wad cutter. Rifle cartridges. Bullets used in rifle cartridges come in various designs, sizes, and weights as well. The bullet usually is made of lead and may have a jacket, just like handguns, of copper, brass, or another metal. Bullets used for hunting, law enforcement, or personal defense may have a soft or hollow point as well, designed to expand or mushroom upon impact. And bullets used for target shooting usually have solid points, and they make a clean hole in paper as well. So the common types of rifle bullets are the same as handguns: round-nosed lead, full metal jacket, hollow points, with the only difference being soft points. Shotgun shells or cartridges. Common types of shotgun loads are lead or steel balls. It's what they call shot in various sizes. They are commonly called birdshot, buckshot, or slugs, of course depending on the size. The makeup of a shotgun shell is relatively simple, with the parts being very different than pistol or rifle cartridges. The main differences are the case is a polymer, they contain a wad, and utilize most materials not common in rifles or pistols due to the rifling of the barrels. If you're around the gun world long enough, you will hear about reloads. Be careful about buying reloads from an unknown source. We have dealt with some real horror stories, and we've heard even worse. Reloads are not bad and all. Most are great, but there are a few that make you think twice about ever buying them. So just a word of caution here, that's all we're saying. But we do want you to remember, reloaded shells may have the wrong information or may have been improperly reloaded. It's important to mark reloaded shells clearly. Use only shells or cartridges that you have reloaded yourself or that have been reloaded by a person whom you know is competent and you trust. So the last major topic I want to cover here with you today is why should you train with a firearms instructor? Training with a firearms instructor offers a whole host of benefits that go way beyond just learning how to shoot. Here's a breakdown of why it's such a smart move. First is safety first and foremost. A qualified instructor will drill you on the fundamental rules of firearm safety until they become second nature. This creates a much safer environment for you, your loved ones, and anyone around you. They'll teach you proper handling, storage, maintenance, and minimize the risk of accidents. They'll help you build a solid foundation. Instead of picking up potentially incorrect habits, an instructor will teach you the correct grip, stance, sight alignment, trigger control, and breathing techniques right from the get-go. This solid foundation is crucial for accuracy and consistency. They'll also give you personalized guidance. Instructors can observe your specific needs and challenges and tailor their teaching methods accordingly. They can identify areas where you will need extra help and provide personalized feedback, and this accelerates your learning. They understand the law. A good instructor will also cover the relevant laws and regulations in your area regarding firearm ownership, carrying, and the use of force. This knowledge is essential for responsible gun ownership. They'll develop confidence and competence. As your skills improve under professional guidance, your confidence in handling the firearm safely and effectively will grow. This competence is vital whether you're interested in self-defense, sport shooting, or hunting. They'll give you access to a learning environment. Instructors provide a structured learning environment with clear objectives and progressive exercises. The systematic approach helps you build skills logically and avoid feeling overwhelmed. Identifying and correcting bad habits. Even experienced shooters can develop bad habits over time. An instructor can spot these and help you correct them, leading to improved performance and much better learning. Expanding your knowledge. Instructors often have a wealth of knowledge about different types of firearms, ammunition, and accessories. They can give insights and help you make informed decisions. And they'll connect you to a community. Training courses can be a great way to connect with other like-minded individuals who are committed to safe and responsible firearm ownership, which allows you and your loved ones a place to learn and grow. Ultimately, training with a firearms instructor is an investment in your safety, your skills, and your responsible engagement with firearms. It's about doing things the right way from the start and continuously improving. So we want to thank you for joining us today, and we hope this presentation was informative and insightful. We look forward to helping you get trained and become proficient with firearms, so you can be ready for any situations that may require the defense of a well-trained individual. Contact us when you're ready to progress to the next step. Here at American Preparedness Academy, we make training realistic, fun, and personalized for everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you on the range.